want to make it also very clear that as a member of the New Democratic Party, as a deputy leader of this party, I proudly denounce all forms of anti-Semitism and proudly stand in defense of the human rights of all people. And in fact, we stand against Islamophobia, any racism, particularly anti-black racism, and we firmly commit to standing up for the human rights of all people. At the same time, it's also very important to recognize how important it is to protect our right to express our thoughts and our freedom of speech. In fact, if we look at our role here as opposition, every day in opposition, our job is to criticize the policies of the government. We, in fact, often denounce the policies of the government, and that is our fundamental right. And in fact, it makes our democracy stronger. In the same light, there are many policies that other countries implement that we are critical of. We have raised many times in this Assembly the human rights track record of other countries like China when it comes to the human rights treatment of the citizens who work in factories in China. We look at the treatment of garment workers in Bangladesh and we criticize that. It is fundamentally a right to criticize the policies of a government, but it is never appropriate to incite hatred, to incite violence against any community based on their ethnicity, based on their religion, based on their gender, based on their sexuality, and we firmly oppose that type of speech. Any hate speech that incites violence is inappropriate, and we denounce it firmly. But at the same time, we must always remember that criticism of government policies is what makes our society safer and better. My personal example is I stood up for the rights of women who are oppressed in India. I stood up against the rights of minority communities that are oppressed in India, like Christians, Muslims, and Sikhs. I stood up for the Aboriginal communities of India, the Mool Nivasis, the Dalits, who are the oppressed people because of the caste system, and because of that, I was denied a visa to go to India. That is where we could go if we go down a path of silencing freedom of expression, and that's why I will be voting against this bill.